Hello, and welcome to Send Flowers. So, I had an idea. I wanted to keep with the Christmas theme, but I just got an itch to do something gore related. And I thought initially of just making a gory gingerbread man of sorts, but the idea didn't quite sit right with me. It just wasn't enough. And then it hit me. What would a gingerbread house look like if it were made by Jame Gumb and Hannible Lector? Ah, yes, we have found the perfect amount of cozy and disturbing. So, in order to make this nightmare come to life, I went ahead and started off with a base sketch to get a rough idea of details that I wanted to include, which would mainly be like tongue, eye, teeth. And then I went ahead and made a template out of cardboard to get a better general idea of proportion for all of the pieces. The majority of this was done using paper clay. However, I did use polymer clay for some of those smaller details. Here you can see using that template type method, I cut out the appropriate sized pieces and then texture everything with a rough sponge. And this was the beginning process of what initially was going to be a full roof of shingles. However, I decided that that was far too tedious, and I did not have the attention span for that. So I just did 2 rows of these nail shingles that I then applied almost kind of like icicles, I suppose, like a strip of icicles to the ends of the roof. And then I began working on what would be the replacement for a front and back window on the house, which is the eyeball. And then in a bit here, I do begin the little dangly tendon bits. They're not very realistic and true to what you would see in real life. However, I was far more concerned with it looking disgusting, and I feel that was achieved, so... And then I began the paint process for all of the skin textured pieces. The key to this was really just keeping the paints thin as possible. So I would start with yellow, then go to red, and then once I was happy with the balance of those mixed together, I would move on to blue to get some kind of grimy colors to really muddy them up and desaturate them. And then it was mostly just a lot of bouncing back and forth between colors to get the appropriate adjustment for what I assume leathery skin would look like. And then here I begin the paint process for the shingles. I'm not the happiest with how they turned out, but in the end it's okay because blood fixes everything. Here I began the process of assembling everything. I started with the base of the house. You will notice that I just used hot glue because I'm keeping this for myself and it's not going to be moved around very often. However, if that were not the case, I would probably have picked something more akin to a joint compound just to make sure that everything ran together more flush and was more stable than just hot glue. And to finalize everything, I went over the joints with a very thin layer of black wash, and I added a bit more bloody details to the joints and some of the little bits and bobs throughout. And with that, we are on to our final looks.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their bones, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little